decision taken in 1975 by this country to join the common market has been reversed by this referendum to leave the EU.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union, and their will must be respected.
Dare to dream that the dawn is breaking on an independent, united kingdom.
Bien loin dans le réseau social animal, tu vis dans la jungle et tu cherches une place quand la lumière du jour te révulse, mais celle des réverbères te traverse l'esprit, et quand la nuit tombe tu sens ta gorge qui se serre. Est-ce que tu ressens la sensation bizarre que tu as quand tu entres chez toi, loin des regards de la ville?
France, a country of good food, beautiful cities and a passion for culture. I'll be spending the next few weeks travelling from Paris to the UK to meet the real French people who live and work in Britain, to find out what brought them to leave their home country and how our two countries differ. The first stop on my trip is with Claude and Sarah, a French-English couple who live in Warwickshire in the heart of England. I visited them at their home to hear their story.
Well, Claude obviously was born and grew up.
I was born in France.
Mm-hmm. Grew up in France?
I grew in France, and I worked in France for 40 years. So in fact, I left France 20 years ago now.
We got married in France.
So we got married in France. We had
children
in France.
Yeah.
And
you were lucky enough to get a job offer.
And so I tried to get a job in UK, and I managed to get one. We moved to England
yeah.
in 1997. And it was a new start.
Mm-hmm.
For me, anyway.
So, Sarah, you lived in France for a number of years. Can you tell us a bit about that?
I'd been learning French for a long time in England, and I'd been on French exchanges, stayed in different parts of France, and was mad about everything French culture. And the minute that I could, I got my exams, I left. I got a job in Paris for about 5-6 years. And just live the Parisian life, which is great.
So what do you think is different between France and the UK?
The food is different. Going out, eating out after work.
Yeah,
things that maybe they do now in London, but perhaps didn't back then. I think it was just more...
Outdoors.
You live more outdoors. Weather's better.
So, Claude, is there anything that you miss about France?
Well, first of all, you will have the families missing, of course, because I am the only one from my family moving to France, to UK, sorry. So the first thing would probably be your family is a bit missing at some point, sometime, because it's not so easy to go too often. When you have got your work, you have got your child to look after, you are too busy to so many things. You don't really think about your original country, really.
My next stop was with Emma, an events management student at De Montfort University in Leicester, who moved to the UK from France 2 years ago. I met her in her apartment to find out what her experiences are so far with the UK and what made her want to study abroad.
So, when I enter law school in France, we have the opportunity to do 1 year abroad, like in the Erasmus program. So I did my first year, and then I decided to come to the UK to finish my undergrad. And they have like this partnership with the De Montfort University, so I decided to candidate.
Okay. And so you decided to stay another year at De Montfort. So what was sort of the decision behind coming back to England instead of going back to France?
I didn't want to go back to the university in France because it's completely different, and you're not considered the same in England as a student in uni as in France, so I really wanted to stay there. Also, they had like a master degree that I was really interested in, so I decided to stay.
What were your first thoughts when you first came to the UK?
British people are very lovely and very polite. It's completely different. I arrived from Paris, so the difference between Parisian and Leicester people is completely different. They're very polite, they will help you, they smile, which is something I forgot when I was in France, that people could smile, but it's very different, very polite, yeah.
So what do you think the differences between France and the UK are?
I mean, the people first are very, very different. I think in France we're more judgmental, and I think here British people are less in the judgment of other people. And yeah, I think it's easier to arrive if you are international in England than in France. I think it's going to be way harder for example British people to study in England or study in France, sorry.
And what do you miss most about France?
That's a good question. I don't really miss a lot about France, but like food, and because we don't have the same culture about like going out. So here it's like, wow, everyone's going out and everyone is going to the pub and everyone's meeting to the pub, and it's completely different in France. So I don't really miss this, but yeah, just the food. It's like very complicated to find good food here in England.
And out of France and the UK, which country do you think you will be spending most time in the future?
I wish I'd spend more time in the UK, but we'll see with Brexit and seeing if I can stay there. We'll see.
From someone who is embracing a new life away from France to the market that's bringing the French lifestyle to the UK. I met with Muriel, who runs a market of traders from Normandy, who cross the channel weekly bringing French products to British customers.
So today we are in Warwick for the French market. We are coming from France to set up the market, and you can find bread, fresh bread baked on the market, patisserie, olives, and crepe, sausage, onion from Brittany, the most famous in the world, I have to say, and cheese, of course, and music, vintage music CD, French and English and American, and you can have your lunch with tartiflette, mussel, so a lot of stuff, yeah, from France.
What do you think makes French market special?
Well, because we are French. No, I'm stupid to say that. It makes me special because we are coming from France. We cross the channel every week to all the market in a town. Today Warwick, tomorrow Southam, next week Chichester in the south of not of France, of UK. Week after St Albans, Oundle. So we have a regular tour, and we create a special atmosphere in the town with French flags and product from France. And it's very popular because English people like eating, and it's something different.
So do you think that's why people come here, mostly for food?
Mostly for food, yes. Yes, for the cheese, for the bread, for the crepes, the biscuits, the sausage, something quite different from what you can find in England.
So how did this market get started in the first place?
I took over France at Home in 2001. So it's a long time, but most of the traders, the oldest one, used to trade from time to time. It was a swap with the Chamber of Commerce since 1994. So it's a long time. They cross the channel. We are European commuter.
What do you think the differences are between France and the UK?
For the bread and the crepe, for instance, the flour. It's not the same. It's not the same taste. Even if you do a crepe with English or French flour, it's not the same taste. and but we are not so different as we must expect. Yes.
As Britain's future relationship with Europe remains to be seen, my journey has taken me to 3 French people who have begun a new chapter thanks to their relationship with Britain. Whatever the future of those living in Britain may be, whether born and raised here or here from afar, we can only hope that in the end we can all say, I regret nothing.